When Director Sterling clapped her hands loudly enough to echo down the entire hallway, the collective silence that fell over the open floor was deafening. She gave me 1 hour to clear my desk while 20 colleagues suddenly became very fascinated by their computer monitors, terrified to make eye contact. I simply packed my personal belongings without throwing a fit, leaving behind only the one thing that truly mattered: the master administrative override to our entire system. They all assumed I was just another weak manager getting tossed aside, but nobody on that floor realized I was the original architect of the company. For the past 14 months, I had been quietly running a parallel operation from a small rented space, 2 blocks down the street. While Sterling was busy signing off on fraudulent expenses and falsifying my performance metrics, I was archiving every single digital footprint she left behind. My former business partner had slowly buried my equity under endless layers of legal jargon, assuming I would eventually walk away quietly. They thought they had erased my presence from the corporate registry, but they completely forgot who wrote the foundation of the server infrastructure. By midnight, the legal trap I had spent over a year constructing was officially set into motion. I transmitted the complete evidence archive directly to our board members, along with an emergency petition, citing an obscure clause in our founding charter. That specific rule allowed a founding partner to instantly revoke executive privileges in cases of severe financial misconduct. Sterling went to sleep believing she had permanently removed me from the building, entirely unaware that her security badge would be completely deactivated by sunrise. The next morning, I walked through the main lobby wearing a tailored dark suit that made me look like an absolute stranger to the front desk security team. Sterling was standing near the elevators holding her morning coffee, completely caught off guard when she saw me stepping out toward the executive wing. Before she could even demand to know why I was in the building, our chief legal counsel stepped out from the adjacent room to confiscate her company phone. Her face went completely pale as he officially informed her that her authority was suspended, pending a full criminal inquiry. Stepping into the private elevator toward the top floor felt like reclaiming a home I had built with my own hands years ago. Behind the heavy glass doors of the corner office sat Vance, my old co-founder who had quietly traded his loyalty for executive influence. I tossed a thick leather binder straight onto his mahogany desk, containing the time-stamped video evidence of him plotting my termination while I was away taking care of my family during a tragedy. He stared at the files with trembling hands, completely unable to form a believable lie. Just as security escorted Vance toward the exit, I discovered a hidden folder tucked inside his bottom desk drawer that completely altered the situation. Inside were signed resignation letters from 6 key department heads, all arranged to trigger a massive operational collapse the moment I reclaimed my position. Vance was not just trying to push me out of the business. He was actively preparing to burn the entire infrastructure to the ground, so there would be nothing left to save. I realized right then that simple legal retaliation was not going to be enough. To completely neutralize the internal rebellion, I called an immediate board meeting to address a suppressed scandal from 10 years ago in Chicago. During that previous venture, Vance had accepted a massive payout from a direct competitor to deliberately sabotage a high-value merger, secretly funneling those funds through a third-party account. As I laid out the bank records and verified witness statements in front of the board, the remaining executives watched in complete shock as Vance lost every single ounce of credibility he had left. The final piece of the puzzle was confronting the strategy vice president, who had been secretly funneling operational data to Vance for months. I dropped a surveillance photo on the conference table showing the exact moment he accepted a confidential package in the parking garage, leaving him with zero room to negotiate. He sat in complete silence, realizing his corporate career was officially over before he even had a chance to defend himself. The board unanimously voted to remove every compromised executive from the building before the end of the afternoon. By 6 o'clock that evening, our new interim leadership team held an official press conference to address the corporate restructuring directly to the public. We publicly disclosed 3 years of hidden embezzlement and operational manipulation, ensuring the bad actors could never poison another organization again. Watching the news coverage from my living room, I received a final text message from our counsel confirming that the internal audit was complete and the transition was fully secured. Standing on my balcony that night, Watching the city lights flicker in the distance, I finally felt the heavy weight of the last 14 months lift off my shoulders. They had spent years misjudging my patience for weakness, assuming that quiet people would always allow themselves to be walked over without fight. But true authority does not come from yelling across a crowded office floor or making threats. It comes from staying focused, keeping your head down, and letting your results dismantle the chaos once and for all.